Okay, great. And we are live. Happy Friday, ladies. Hello, Women of the World Network. I want to welcome my special guest today, Cinthia Varkevisser. Amazing, beautiful lady. Hi, Cinthia. Welcome.
Hi, Elle. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely great to have you. Well, before we start, let me introduce Cinthia. So Cinthia Varkevisser is a community creator and architect of intuitive age solutions. She does something that I absolutely love. I don't understand fully how that works, but it's just so amazing to me. So it's a system that teaches you how to be a confident trailblazer. Step up your problem solving, crush your goals, leverage your intellect and intuition with clarity and confidence. Welcome, Cinthia.
Thanks again. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So intuition, I love the field of intuition. And I believe we need hours and hours to break it down in pieces and talk about it because I always get fascinated really once we understand how it works. I think it's so amazing. It's so powerful. It's almost like magic. That's something I definitely always strive for and I work on, hearing my voice. But I believe in the business of our daily lives, it just gets kind of lost, right? It gets, I don't know, maybe we cannot hear, or maybe some of us cannot hear it as clear. So if you can talk about what really that means, intuition, and how you help through your business solutions.
Sure. It's my favorite thing to talk about. So the interesting thing about during our business day, what happens is that we get so focused on doing our work, and it's very linear, right? It's very analytical, that our frequency changes, and so it's like our ears dim just a little bit. So it's hard to hear that intuitive voice, and the intuitive voice is so fluid that it's easy to miss. And here's why. So intuition is really close to the emotional voice. So here's what an emotion is. We are born and we have an experience, and we have energy with this experience, and then we have an emotion. So we know that we've been hungry as babies, and so we know what it's like to be frustrated, and we attach that. And then as we grow older, our emotions, our experiences go back. And we say, "Oh, I remember this, and this is frustration. This is sadness," right? So it's all really easy to talk about emotions. Intuition is just one layer outside of emotions. So intuition, it's energy based, and it's emotionally based, and it's experience based. And so that's why it's really easy to misunderstand our intuition and go and think that it's an emotional thing, or that our emotional voice is actually our intuitive voice. So this is where I live. I like to live where we separate the emotional voice from the intuitive voice, so that we can then utilize our intuition. So does that explain it a little bit?
Yeah, I love it. That's I believe that's it, because sometimes, and also like sometimes I think maybe it's just me thinking, or emotions, like you say. So that differentiation, is it my intuition, or is it just me putting my thinking on me?
Right. Right. And you know what? A lot of times it is your intuition, but what happens is because it's so closely related that it's easy to bounce into your emotion. The thing that's really interesting about intuition is if you think about your kids, right? I have two kids, they're grown now, but when they were little, I mean, it was easy to see that they could use their intuition all the time. I love working with little kids or hanging out with them because they're so easily open to their intuition. But because intuition is emotionally based, unless a child, and I hope this doesn't happen, is unless a child understands grief, they've actually experienced grief, they cannot read it intuitively. They can't read grief. So it's only until you can experience grief that you actually can intuit it. So that's the thing that's really interesting. So what happens is that we have an intuitive thought, and it's usually amazing, but because it's experience-based and emotionally based, then it's easy to go, ooh, 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 and then you dump into the emotion, and then you make your decision on the emotion instead of on the intuition, right? So it is your intuition talking with you, but then you just pop back into the emotional side, and then make your decision. Now, when I say you, it's not you, it's all of us. But that's usually what happens. Yeah.
Right. Oh, nice, nice. I love it. It's so interesting. It's such an interesting field to me. I usually ask, one of my favorite questions that I usually ask, and I always ask it at this at our interviews, at our chat, ladies chats on Fridays, is what is something unique about you? And, you know, each one of us, I'm a huge believer, and I know it for sure, each one of us has such tremendous value that's, you know, very often hidden under whatever it is. Programming, life circumstances, whatever. So what it is that your uniqueness and what is it that makes you tick?
The superpower, right? The superpower question. The thing that I love the most, and what a lot of people talk about, is that I live both in the emotional analytical side. I speak that language, and I speak the intuitive language. So what I love to do is show people just how amazing they are and how they use their intuition, and that their intuition is unique. It's not, you know, the odds of someone communicating and using your intuition, just like you, Elle, is 1 in 68 trillion, right? So it's kind of amazing to think about that. So what I like to do is help you separate it out, give you some exercises into very small practical bits so that you can prove to yourself just how amazing your gift is. And then how can we use it so that you can explode out into the world with just this like magnificence, right? Because we all have this amazing shine. And that's the part that gets me excited.
Yeah, I love that. That is definitely unique. I love that combination. That's great. I love it. So, you know, we are Women of the World Network, and all of us women, we are so different, so beautiful, unique, and amazing. And I know that we women have a very high tendency for intuition, right? Or versus, you know, our male counterparts, where if we recognize it, or if we train ourselves, it can be really powerful for us.
Yes.
So when it comes to women and intuition, how is it, like, what works for us, or how can we develop it stronger?
So here, the most women, the most accessible, intuitive part of most women is that they can feel other people's feelings, right? So there's a difference between empathy and clairsentience. So clairsentience is that you can feel other people in the body, okay? So, I mean, think about it. That's the way that we grew up. We grew up learning to kind of be able to nurture and take care of people in a certain way. And so this is how we exercise our intuitive gift without even knowing it. The thing that happens with most women is that they keep that exposed. And then what happens is that they give too much energy away, because it's like, oh, so-and-so, it feels so bad. And even though this person over here is saying they're having a good day, maybe I know that they're not feeling well, so I'm going to give them a little bit of energy. So the challenge for women with this intuitive power is actually to have boundaries around it, which is to allow people to have their experience, right? Know when to let people have their experience and when to step in and be that helping hand. But women are incredibly powerful that way. And because of this power, women love to lift the community up, the family up. I have yet to meet a woman who wants to rise on her own. Right. So, and that's how intuition works. It's because it's energy based. So if you raise your frequency, then everyone else will raise their frequency as well, or they'll shift to another direction if they don't want to rise with you. So it's a great power. So we were talking earlier today and how you were exercising to get yourself ready. So a great boundary. And working on your intuitive boundaries, you can do it during exercise. You could do it during meditation. And what you want to do is when you're running, don't you feel like you're running and you feel like this great expanse energy around you that you feel super strong? So that's your intuitive energetic body that's walking around with you, and it expands and contracts with you, right? And you can send it out however you want. So for women who need boundaries, right? Even if it's just for the day, is to feel the edges of their boundaries and to feel like, I feel great. That's what you said. I feel great. I did my jogging. And then while you're running, to make an agreement, which is, and only people who are at this energy level or higher get to meet with me today. So what happens is then you get to, as you feel someone intuitively and you feel that it's not a match, it's so much easier to either say no or to be polite, but to not give up that intuitive energy that ends up, I call it a leak because it's what makes you tired after a while. So it's a perfect boundary and super practical.
Oh, so powerful. So powerful. Love, 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 love. Love that. Love that. Yeah, I think it's so needed. We are such amazing giving creatures, and like you said, we take energy of another, but that a lot of us are overgiving, and then there's a boundary that is not, we need to put the boundaries in order to stay ourselves in our genius zone and even give out more, being able to give out more and preserve ourselves. It's my favorite subject, one of my favorite subjects, boundaries.
Mine too. I mean, I love to think about that. And so every time I'm invited to something or by someone, I'm so honored because I know that their energy level is at that integrity point that makes me super excited. So every time I feel like I get invited to something, I feel like I've graduated into something, so I love the work of energy. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for that tip, Cinthia, about, I love that tip. So we surround ourselves with this invisible wall kind of and energy, and we make that intention that today I only want to surround myself with this energy, with people on this energy level or higher or similar. And that's all about intention, right? Whatever we put out there, because it's so powerful. And that's a great, great tip. So definitely such a good one. I love that.
Thank you. I do too. The thing that I love about it so much, Elle, is that when we set our intention, it's a lot of times when we talk about boundaries, it feels very defensive. And just the thought of being defensive, automatically our energy level goes down. But when we come from a really powerful, positive space and we set our intention and then say, people of this energy level are higher, then it's a different form of, boundary, because what you're doing is that you're saying, if you're not here, you want to go find the energy that suits you. And this is, if you want to come here, make sure that this is the energy that suits you. So that's the thing that I love so much about this form of intending.
Yeah. I love it. So great. So we're gonna put your information in the comments here, and this video will also post it on our blog, and we'll put all the contact details for Cinthia. Ladies, please connect with Cinthia because she has an amazing expertise on intuition, and I think it's so needed. It's so needed for each one of us to know. To learn more about ourselves, to know ourselves, and to recognize that voice, for us to, really reach our full potential, right? If there is any events or anything that you have coming up, Cinthia, that you wanted to share, feel free to do so.
Great. Yes, I actually do. I have a short class coming up in the next 2 weeks, and it's called Vibe Check Your Relationships Using Your Intuition. And it's pretty much what we talked about today, which is check your energy level, see if the person that you're going to be communicating with, what their energy level is, and let's find a way to bridge so that we can have the best communication possible. So I love it. I'm happy to give more information down the road, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, perfect. That's perfect. Great. Yeah, if you want to just put it in the comments, and then we definitely, in the comments here in the Facebook. Yeah, relationship is another huge part of it, I believe, right? That's the person we live with, a partner, or even, I don't know, kids.
Yeah. They're actually my favorite. My favorite groups to work with. Well, my favorite thing to do is to actually work with groups. When you're working one-on-one and you see the shift in someone, that's beautiful. But when you're working with a family or you're working with a corporate team and they see each other, and they see the shift in each other, that's where the magic is, because now there's opportunity for different conversations. There are different ways to utilize people's skills. There's not as many assumptions. It's a really lovely, lovely place to be. So it's any kind of relationship. It could be your next door neighbor. It could be your dog, and even your house. So it's your environment. Everything helps energy. So everything is a relationship.
Awesome. I love it. I love this conversation. Yeah, I feel like I can talk about on this topic for hours. I love this field, and it's just so interesting, I think, the way it works. And but yeah, well, thank you again, Cinthia, for taking the time. And as we are concluding, if you want to share anything else at all, or mention or comment anything else that you want to.
And no, I'm just happy to be here, and I am so happy to be a part of this network. So thanks so very much. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time. Again, ladies, connect with Cinthia, and we will post contact information in the comments. Thanks again for taking the time this morning, Cinthia. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Elle. All right. Bye-bye.